with Spider.
Hello, everybody. Spider here once again. Coming soon podcast coming to you from San Antonio, Texas. Being joined by LJ Davis. My man, how are you doing, sir?
I am doing all right. How are you doing today, Mario?
Man, it's Texas, brother. The heat wasn't too bad today. It's just humidity. I mean, all this week has been just freaking humidity as hell, dude. And other than that, man, it's been pretty good, man. Got off work. Decided to come home. I didn't go run. I'm not gonna go run today. I went running yesterday after my interview, man, and I hated the whole concept, dude. I was tired. I was like, man, but I got 3 laps in, which was like 45 minutes, so I'm good with that, brother.
I just shared this podcast onto our Facebook page and all of our followers so they can follow along and get you some new viewership here. And I'm just happy to be here. And yeah, it's humid here in central Indiana. It's like 80, 85, 90 degrees with 50, 60, 70% humidity. I don't know what it is, but I can feel it all over my body.
No, yeah, and that's one of those days, man. I mean, Texas. I mean, that's the thing. We get. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's everywhere. When it comes to the climate, it's freaking cold one day, next day is raining. Wednesday is like freaking sunny. Yeah. Just crazy, bro. But
we might get some. We up here in Indiana, we might get some snow in the middle of June. That's what happens.
Oh,
it's nuts.
Yeah, is that normal?
Once in a while, it's happened before. Yeah,
wow, dude.
Up here.
We get those like freak nature, storms that come through, and it's like 1 week we'll be like under snow, dude. It was just crazy, because, and that's one of the things, man. Because I mean, people have stated before, because we've had like where pipes bust. There's a difference, dude. Because here in San Antonio or in Texas, the pipes aren't all the way down. They're pretty high up because we don't get cold. So when it gets cold like that, man, things start happening, and it's like it's a freaking mess, bro.
Yeah, here we have to protect our stuff, or it'll bust.
No, I hear you, man. Now, of course, brother. I mean, I didn't know we were gonna have a co-host over there. We got a gremlin out there, man. Tell us,
absolutely.
What guys about, bro.
I gotta have my friends with me. It makes me feel comfortable when I got something creepy, scary lurking around me. So, so I got my little Freddy Krueger gloves here at home. I make props and all that stuff too. So these are things that I've made, and I just surround myself with it. So all things horror.
Dude, that's pretty cool, man. And you actually do all this stuff. I mean, is that what where everything started for you when it comes to film?
So where everything started for me was when I was a kid, watching all the horror movies I grew up with in the 80s, and going to the store and renting all these VHSs. And when I first saw 1974's Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, yeah.
All of Tobe Hooper's movies, from Poltergeist all the way up through The Mangler and all that stuff, and the Nightmare on Elm Street and Gremlins. All the horror movies just got me into it. And I did anything and everything I could to make horror, whether it was when I was younger, didn't have any money, just doing drawings. And in art class, my art teachers probably tell you all the horrific things that I would make with the clay and everything, where we had to mold things out of clay, and then you put them into the kiln.
Yeah.
And I would make like bloody, I don't know, centerpieces and things. And my high school art teacher, Miss Klein, if you're out there, if you're watching this, hello, Miss Klein. We're best buds, best friends to this day.
Oh, nice, dude. That's cool.
She let me have that artistic outlet to make all that stuff, and not like go, whoa, this kid weird or something. It's like, no, I might watch that movie too.
Yeah, let's call his parents. Something's going on over here.
And my parents would be like, well, that's tame. That's pretty tame for what he does at home.
Dude, that's cool though, man. I mean, I'm glad you brought that up, because I mean, when it comes to high school, it's for me, and I mean, I get the whole education thing. I mean, of course, I went to elementary, middle school, high school, dude. But it's just, there's a lot more different outlets that, like, I guess even now there's a lot of schools that are actually doing things like that, where they're letting kids venture out and do something creative and then go back to class. Yeah. And when I saw that, it blew my mind, because I'm like, dude, I wish I would have had that in high school, man. I wish I would have had. And of course, we had like photography. We had, classes per se, but we didn't have. The closest thing we did have was my last year. I actually took a woodshop class, and it was one of these classes where I needed credits, like enough credits to graduate. And they were like, man, this shop's like 3 credits. And I went there. It was like a bunch of knockoffs. Dude. It was like kids that nobody wanted, And I'm like, I said, all right, cool, But I mean, the shop teacher, shout him out, Mr. Rodarte, man. That guy's still out there kicking, man. Good guy. and he let us, express ourselves when it came to like wood shop. He taught us, of course, the cuts, the measurements, all that stuff that I still remember, bro. And that's one of the things he always tell us. He would tell us is no matter where you're at in life, man, you're always going to remember your measurements, and it's true. I still
Yeah,
remember, man.
absolutely. It's paramount when you're setting up shots and you're setting up scenes and everything, where you gotta mark off areas where someone can walk, where your focus will go, where it won't go, where your camera will go before it hits something that you can't get out of the screen. All that stuff we learned back in the day, back in high school, back in school. It really matters. I mean, my English teachers, because I write scripts, so I was writing scripts and trying to sell them and stuff. And then when I did sell scripts, guess what? They got tossed in the wastebasket or never used, and I made these amazing stories. And I wanted to start making stories. I wanted to start making the stories in front of the camera. So that's really what started this Scare Time Studios. With my wife and I started. I was sick and tired of my stories not getting out there. They were just selling them for pennies, really,
Yeah.
and then never seeing them be made. So that's really what started this Scare Time Studios, and us going out and making the movies on our own.
No, dude, and that's great that you're doing that because can you imagine how many people are out there writing and nobody's, you know what I mean? Like they're not being used, man. I mean, that's mind blowing. Now that you brought that up, I'm like, damn, it could be a lot of good stories that maybe just got tossed away and nobody ever did anything with them, man. But
it's a big world, and there are a lot of people who are really, really imaginative, really creative, and that's where the indie film market and I'm in the mainly in the indie horror film community, but all the indie filmmaking community. There are so many awesome ideas out there. We don't have to be relegated to what comes out of the big studios, and they come out every 6 months to a year. You're waiting on your studio to put out something. The indie film market is there's so much great stuff out there, so much great content, and that's why I love being part of this, and couldn't really imagine ever being outside of it now that I'm firmly rooted into it.
No, for sure, man. And of course, you mentioned earlier, man, it's you and your wife. I mean, when it comes to your crew, I mean, do you have more family members that help out?
So we have actually, when we started filming JakNife is our debut feature.
Right.
I did a casting call for I didn't know what I was doing, really, to tell you the truth. But in my community, I put out these big posts in our community pages about, hey, I'm going to start filming this horror film here in Hancock County, Indiana. And within 2 weeks, I had like 100 and something people wanting to be in the film. Within a week after that, I was auditioning people. And then a week after that, we started filming. So through that, I met some people that actually were like just enthusiastic about learning what I have took years to learn. With handling the boom mic and handling the audio equipment and lighting and all that stuff. And Mark Page is really our boom mic operator, and he helps us out with that. Helps us out with the audio equipment when he can. My wife, of course, she does everything. She does all the stuff that you see here that says JakNife on it. She designed and made. So we got a creative side there, and she's our website's lookatthesetees.com. So that's where all her stuff is. All the JakNife stuff we have is all on there. So we have her. We have other fan members that will do the clapboard. We actually have. I heard yesterday or day before you had your last podcast, your last interview with the Texas Witch. Andrew, is that his name?
Yes.
He was talking about actors and people who are going to be in the movie who actually are on set and they actually partake in helping out with light. We have people who just. They want to be involved, and they know that I can't really. It's micro budget, low budget horror film that I can't really move them out to wazoo or any of that stuff. But they're in it to have fun and make films just like us.
So bro. You see, and that's one of those things because I mean, it's just like you never know. If something hits and you're like, damn, okay, you know what, like. Somebody does buy it or the when it comes to the service, does that great that, like Andrew. I mean, I saw his film yesterday and I want to thank you for sharing that interview as well, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and, absolutely. Yesterday from you, I heard about it from you and then the horror scene. So you guys together, then with us, and then now it's 4 people now. And then there's other stuff that I've met through you guys and the horror scene. man, it's amazing the indie horror like scene right now. It's just
No, you see, and I started when it comes to the Coming Soon podcast. I started maybe like 2 years ago, and the reason we started this, or I started this, was with one of my buddies, Braxton Smith, man, he's a pro fighter, dude, and we were like, man, like I had the Fight Card podcast, which I told you about, the combat sports, and we both, turned out we both loved horror movies, so we started talking about that, and he was like, man, is there a horror podcast? And I was like, you know what, I don't know. So I started looking, and I started finding some. I started finding quite a few, but with no content, dude. Like nobody was feeding it, nobody was doing anything, nobody. And I was just like, damn, I guess the last post was like from 2 years ago, and
oh,
I mean, nothing. So I started, we decided to start the podcast. We didn't know which route to go, but I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna put Coming Soon for now till we find up a name. And that name stuck with me, man, because a lot of my posters, they're like video store posters, and it's always like coming soon to DVD, coming soon to VHS, and I loved it. It was a keyword, and I said, you know what? I looked it up. It was available. I bought it, and I was like, screw it. That's it, man. Coming soon, bro.
I love the logo. I really do. So when I see it,
yeah.
I know pop on that, click on that, and I'm gonna hear some cool independent film stuff. So I appreciate you.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, you see, and that's the thing. I mean, the fact that you guys are doing this. I mean, I'm involved. I jump on projects. I help out as a gaffer. I'm holding the boomstick and do a lot of BTS. There's a lot of productions that always invite me out there, and that I love it, dude. Like kind of like what you said earlier, man. I mean, it's not even a matter of like me going out and hey, I want to get paid. It's like, nah, bro, I want to be a part of it. Let me help out. Let me go, whatever I can help out with, man. Like I'm there, and that's pretty much what it takes, because as much as people want to be in films and want to do this and do that, it's time consuming for one thing. So a lot of people don't have time. I started jumping on commercials and TV series recently, man, and it's just like, Monday shooting, Tuesday, and I'm like, damn, so I get why people can't go, man, because if you work, Monday through Friday, it's like can't really go out there, but it's all about opportunity, man.
Yeah, what do you sacrifice? I mean, you have your my wife and I, we have our regular job. Our regular job's in healthcare, and we have combined 50 years in healthcare. And that's right now, that's the job that's paying the bills and helping us do what we really want to do, which is make these films and get our ideas of what Central Indiana horror should be. And we're putting it out there our way using the funds we make from our daytime job. And this is our every other hour of the day that we're not there, we're doing something with Scare Time Studios, JakNife, Dead Stop, Lemonade. We have a few horror shorts already, like Lemonade. Our horror short is on YouTube right now. The Scare Time Studios.
I saw that. Yes, bro. When did you guys film that one?
So last year we filmed 2 horror shorts and JakNife that feature all within 6 or 7 months.
Damn. Okay.
So yeah, we were filming sometimes at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes wherever we could get our actors and actresses together, we would just go out and we would knock out a scene or 2 or 3 or whatever we could do. And sometimes we'd film until 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. But it was all passion. It was all excitement from everyone. And when you get that, it makes it so easy for I mean, you have that on set. It makes it's so easy for people to come and want to film at 12 o'clock at night, if in the morning or whatever. The only time we could film. But yeah, it's when we're healthcare workers, we do this, and this is our passion thing, and hopefully everyone sees that when they watch JakNife, because right now we're going through the film festival circuit and all that stuff. Right now, I can't get it onto streaming or any of that stuff right now. But if you go check out the trailers on Scare Time Studios, we have a couple of. If you go check out Lemonade, I'm getting ready to put JakNife Pre-Party on there because they're out of the film festival circuit. That's another one that's coming. You can see how the cinematography that I use, the way I film, the way the stories that I write, and how I get the story out there with the cameras and make the films. You'll see in those short little horror shorts, get you ready for JakNife. And we've had great positive reviews from everyone who's seen JakNife. We premiered last May 9th in a theater in Greenfield, Indiana, and it was packed and it was sold out, nearly 400 people. It was exciting. We have 2 more shows coming up at the end of June here, June 27th and June 28th at the same theater in Greenfield, Indiana. If you're in the area, come down and see it. But if things go and they blossom out, that's what we would like to happen. That's what all of us would like to happen.
Oh yeah.
Make these things. People love it. And people are like, oh my gosh, we want to We want to help you out, make your future productions bigger, better, bolder, all that. And if that doesn't happen, we have the passion, we have the
Yeah.
excitement to keep making what we're making now at the budget that we have now. We're just excited to make indie horror films. We're just excited.
No, for sure, man. And I got to say this because earlier, like I had mentioned, I did follow your YouTube channel. Now, Scarce Time Studio, this is you guys. Now, earlier you told me that you were a YouTuber. So, of course, when I went to your channel, I saw the numbers, bro. And I was like, God damn. I said, okay, that's pretty good, man. So, you guys, you've been doing this for a minute when it comes to
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah, I've been YouTube for close to 20 years. I've changed my formats a few different times because there's so many different hobbies that I've had. I'm like, the ADHD never left me. I still have it. It's hard for me to sit still like this, but I do it. So you'll see me do a lot of moving around. I'm sorry, that's my ADHD. But yeah, so I've changed formats a lot on there. But one thing that's always remained constant is you'll find videos within each format that contain horror. Whether it's my Halloween haunts that I do in my front yard, whether it's all my horror collectibles that I do create and make, and films and all that stuff. That's the one constant theme in all those different iterations of my YouTube channel. And I just love being entertaining. Anything that I can do to be entertaining, I don't care. I'll laugh at myself, make fun of myself.
That's when you know it's good. You know, if you laugh at yourself, you know you're doing good, man.
Yeah. And likewise, seeing you, when I was talking to you before we came on here to see how quickly you've grown your stuff after things that have happened to you in the past.
Yeah, dude, getting freaking hacked, bro. You see, and I still struggle, man. I mean, there's things that I even know I need to do, and I just don't. It's what I don't know what it is, man. It's just, for the longest time, I'm like, damn, I gotta fix that. I gotta fix that, and it's like it stays there, and I keep seeing it, and it's like the more I see it, the more I'm like, okay, I'll get to it, and I never do, But it's just, I mean, the phone's right here, the laptop's here, the computer's going, and I'm just like, damn, I'll do it later, But
if my wife's probably watching right now, Angie, you hear him? It's not just me.
Yeah.
We all do it. I will get to it. I'm gonna.
There you go. And then yeah, dude. I was gonna say when no need for them to tell us to keep doing it. We're gonna do it eventually. It's like,
it'll be done in 6 months.
I'll get the yard. And that reminds me, I gotta do the yard tomorrow. By the way,
yeah.
But other than that, man, it's good, bro. But I will say this, though, man. When it comes to jumping on films, because for yourself, I mean, being a director, you've actually jumped on as an actor. I mean, a writer. So, which title? Like, if one had to stick, which one would you prefer? I'm gonna put you on the spot with that one, man.
Oh gosh, if I had to, I wrote my first 2 books back when I was a kid in kindergarten and first grade. So 86, 87, I wrote these children's books. I won Young Authors Awards, and I got to go to national. Again, I got to go to national conventions, and I got to meet one of the biggest memories I have is meeting R.L. Stein.
Dude, no way.
Yeah, as R.L. Stein was like coming up the ladder, and I'm shaking hands with this guy, and I don't know. I'm not old enough yet to go into the library to read his books yet. But later on in life, when I read his books, I was like, I met that dude. And since it was an exclusive convention thing, and Young Authors was, no one believed me. They're like, Joe, you lie all the time. You're telling another lie. But bro. Yeah, so being a writer, I absolutely love writing because I've written so much stuff, some of it published, some of it not, some like stacks of stuff that just sits here. And I just sometimes flip through it. I'm like, I could make that into a movie. But if it was like writer, director, maybe that would be my best, the one that I would really like the most.
Nice.
I wouldn't being in front of the camera doesn't scare me really at all, but I really don't. I've a couple scenes I've been in, small stuff, and I'm like, podcast, yes, YouTube, that's fine.
Yeah.
But getting out there and doing acting, I'd rather just be behind the scenes and like molding the person in front of the camera to do.
No, you see, and that's funny you say that too, man. Because for me, it's like I tell people, I don't care. Not that I don't care, but it's like I don't mind where this is taking me. If I end up behind the camera, I'm fine with that, man. Like I'm not trying to be an actor or be, I'm enjoying it. I mean, I'm jumping on perks and parts and voice acting and a little bit of everything, and it's just I'm having fun with it, But I mean, putting myself on the spot, if I had to pick one, like where somebody was like, man, you had to do something, forever, it would probably be podcasting, honestly. It's just I would love to be acting and being kept busy because, like we mentioned earlier, there's not a lot of money when it comes to indie. But other than that, man, like I would just keep having fun with it. You know, I mean, I'd keep my day job, of course, and just keep venturing into whatever projects are out there, man.
Well, I think you're doing a great job. So
Appreciate you, sir.
watching all your podcasts leading up to this to make sure I'm not getting hammered left and right with some questions and that I can't answer. So I was doing I think you're doing a great job. You're not like putting any pressure on those of us that you're interviewing. You're not you're putting us on some hot seats, but ones that we can wiggle out.
Yeah, just so fun, man. You know, and that's one of the things people always they do tell me. It's like, man, afterwards they're like, dude, that was fun. I enjoyed it, and that's kind of what I want. I want a conversation. I want to be able to just talk to somebody and be like, man, how are you doing today, man? Like, what's going on? For the most part, I always tell people this is pretty much like my therapy too, man. I get to talk. You know, I get to talk about what's going on in life, or through the film industry or whatnot. But yeah, man, it's a good outlet for everybody. You know.
Yeah, you hit on something that's really near and dear to me is when you said my therapy. So without going, I'm not going to do any sappy stories or anything, but there's been a lot of stuff that's happened to me in my way past, and it doesn't ever leave you, no matter what the situations, the things that happen. They may be gone, but it never really leaves you.
Right.
So I've always had to have like hobbies and things to do to fill certain voids and to help out. And I swear, if I don't have film to edit or family functions to do or things to do with my family or a film shoot or something like that, and I'm left with just myself and my thoughts, that's when I start going, oh my God, I need to do something. I got to get up out of here. I got to do something.
I agree with you on that one, man. I have idle hands, bro, so I got to keep moving. Like, I mean, that's why, like, recently, man, I've been jogging, I've been taking off, and a lot of it, yesterday I'm jogging, and this guy that I see all the time, I always nod. I'm like, hey, what's up? And I always wear a hoodie, man. It's freaking hot as hell. Yesterday was just humid, but I'm jogging past him, and he was like, man, you're a beast, man, with that hoodie on. And I just kind of looked at him, and I was just like, bro, it's self-torture, man. I just gotta take everything off of my mind, and I just kept going. But it is, it's just finding that outlet to escape and just kind of, go with your thoughts and just think about, leaving everything behind. Just clearing your mind. It helps. Man, before I forget, because you brought up R.L. Stine, and when I had seen L.J. Davis, I was like, man, I wonder why he does that. Like with your initials, because of course, I don't know, does that have something to do with R.L. Stine?
R.L. Stine, that's like a really cool, I love his stories and everything. And I love that all of his stories are getting made into movies or TV shows now. It's absolutely amazing. It's like I grew up with those stories, and now they're being made into like these awesome movies. But my actual name is Linza Joseph Davis. So when I started writing, and I'm also an oil painter, and I do all these other things. So whenever I do anything with my writing or my directing or anything, I always do LJ, Linza Joseph LJ. But I go by Joe on a normal day. But LJ, I'm like, there's so many Joe Davises out there. So like, let's just be an LJ.
I was just curious because you had brought up R.L. Stine, and I said, man, I wonder if that's why you kept that.
Yeah, now I'm never going to forget that link now.
No, for sure, bro. And I was gonna say, I got one of my local guy here, man. He messaged us a little while ago, but it says, what advice would you give to an aspiring old guy that wants to do some acting or even voice acting? I think he's asking for me because I'm old, so advice, bro.
Yeah, I don't know how do you quantify old? Because I'm in my mid 40s. When does that start? When does that start tipping to like middle age, old? I don't know.
I think it's when somebody starts saying like, "Oh, back in my day," that's when you're getting up there, bro.
Say that now, 4 decades ago, back in my decades ago or whatever. But I guess the thing is, the indie, I thought it was. First thing is, don't just go follow what the heck it is you want to do. You want to go be you want to go be an actor. The best thing to do, I think, is to start out in the independent acting community. There are so many. You might not have heard about them, but as soon as you start looking, you'll find them. There are so many indie filmmaking outfits out there. When I started mine and I started going out there looking for people to work with, there was a plethora of people and all different genres. So go out there and just search and go do what you want to do. Don't let anything get in your way at all. Because we didn't. I mean, financially, we're not like well off or anything like that. We just took what we had, maybe stretched the budget a little bit. My wife will tell you a lot, but we stretched the budget a little bit, bought some equipment, taught myself some things on how to do. And then I just went out and said, hey, found some people who were like-minded, wanted to be excited about filmmaking. And we made some made some good movies, making some good movies. And we're going to plan on making more. We're filming 3 this year, horror shorts and features. And it's all on the same kind of budget. So we don't have anything get in our way. And I would just go out there and look. And if you were close to me, that sounds like you, if you're watching and you've put a post out already, a question, it sounds like someone that I would like to even work with, because it's all, with me, it starts out with excitement. What are you excited? What's your level of excitement to make a movie? I don't care if you think you can act. I don't care if you've ever acted before or done anything before. What's your level of enthusiasm and excitement about creating films? And if it's man, I can't wait to go and I'll be there at 1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I want you I'll find a spot for you.
Yeah. And that's true. And that's funny. I mean, once again, man, it's funny you say that, because I always tell people, I mean, every time people ask me and I'm like, dude, show up, bro. Like, there's a casting call, like, show up.
Yeah.
First thing you can do is show up. I said, because out of, every casting call that I've been to or I hear about, because some of the regulars that I jump on films with, they're like, oh man, I went. And he's like, dude, there was only like 8 people, bro. Like, nobody showed up, and they're the ones that are like, okay, well, these guys want to make a movie, so guess what, y'all are in the movie, man. And that's how it starts, because I mean, when it's indie world, like you said, I mean, it doesn't take a lot of talent. I mean, it takes people that want to be creative, that want to be part of something. And like you said, excitement, because I mean, well, I'll say this, bro. When it comes to art, for me, it has to do with the emotions, dude. I mean, what people are. You get sad, you get depressed. Guess what, man? Something good comes out of that. You express it. You go sing, you go write, you go paint. You get creative, and that's kind of like what my thing is, my outlet, dude. Like, if I'm feeling not good, I'm like, shit, I'm gonna go do something I like. Makes sense.
Yeah, and so with my job as being a director is, if you come to set and you're like someone who like just can morph into 75 different characters at the drop of a hat, and you're just so awesome and extraordinary. First off, you probably should be on a bigger, better set somewhere else. And then second off, I won't have a job as a director what to do. You'll read the script, you'll read what I say about how I think the character should be, and then you'll just do it. And I'll just be sitting there going, all right, looks good, shot's good. If you come in and you're raw and you have this feeling like you can't do it, it gives me something cool to do. I get to tell you, hey, you're going to have fun. And by the end of the shoot, you're going to be like, I can't wait to see this when you get done editing. I can't wait to see this when it comes out. And that's what I love to do. I love that little hands-on thing on set where I'm just like, you did it okay, but just do it this way. Take your voice a little higher, voice a little lower, stand this way, and we'll do a good shot. I love that stuff. It's just fun.
Yeah, bro. You see, and there's one director, and I'll give him a shout too, man. Seth, dude, this guy, Sublimation Cinema. Like, I've done a lot of BTS for these guys. Supposed to jump on an episode with them in August, man. But like, watching them and even other local directors, bro, or cinematographers. I mean, you name it. I always get I pick up little traits, and I'm like, damn, like little tricks, that they do just to get the actors in to react. You know what I mean? Like, to get them ready, because it's like, yeah, it's like you can be like, hey, this guy, you're playing Mike. He's a sad guy, but yeah, he's angry, and they're kind of like, okay, well, what am I going to be, sad or angry? You kind of have to throw it out there, and then you know what I mean? Like, it's going to take a little bit of practice, but to get somebody out of their zone to snap out, and okay, like any little thing to get them out of that comfort zone, and then tell them, okay, now you're sad, dude. Like, how would you say it? And what I've been doing a lot. I mean, when it comes to I've been doing improv, like online. I've been jumping on classes just with people, dude. Literally just going back and forth and practicing, because like, yeah, I don't want. I would love to be in a set somewhere being an extra, and somebody saying like, hey man, you know what, who can pull this off? I'd be like, dude, like I'm in, like I'll do it. Why not, man? And get that opportunity, bro.
Yeah, there's a thing that's fun about being an indie film and all that is that when I go out and I will do like an audition. My audition's really just, I got one coming up tomorrow, is I put a call out to our community, to the local indie actors sites and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'll say, hey, I got this. And I might tell exactly what the character is or whatever, but I tell them about the age and all that stuff. So I don't get like a 72-year-old trying to, a 75-year-old guy coming in to be an 18-year-old girl, a teenager. But I'll give them a little bit of backstory, but not much. When I go, I'll sit down with them to talk to them. I just give them like little things to recall from like when they were younger or something that's happened to them. And then I say, replay that for me. like tell me that, like you're talking to the camera. Tell me, just tell me that story. And if you could tell me that story that's really engaging, and it's keeping my attention, and I know nothing about the story. I know nothing about your family or your friends. And if I can be engaging, then I can make you engaging to my audience. And then I can also take that character, and I'm like, well, say in JakNife, I have a character named Allie, and she's like a really like maybe a little bit more of like the softball girl, the girl who's really sporty and just really like tough. She ended up morphing a little bit more to like more of like a more artsy character based on my actress Grace McKinney's who I cast, and she's in local theater around here. She does a great job. But I ended up changing that character just a little bit to suit her because she was such an awesome like theater actress. And I changed. I'm like, no. We still did a little bit of the softball stuff in there, the little bit of the baseball bat, the hard nose stuff. Yeah. For the most part, she was just a nice, sweet, artsy girl, and just did an amazing job. So that's what I like to do in the indie film, just kind of curtail my characters almost towards the best actors that I can get.
Yeah. No, for sure, man. Because a lot of it, there's times like you mentioned. I mean, I do relate stuff to that's happened in my life. I'm 50, bro. So I mean, for me, it's like I've been there, done that, and it's like every time, somebody's like says a part, and they're like, oh, this is what I'm looking for, and I'm like, dude, I've been that guy, or I've been that person, or I've been in that situation, or I've got a lot of experience that I know I can bring to a lot of these the parts. I mean, if I can relate to it, of course. If not, it's just a matter of trying to knock it out and make it happen. But yeah, bro. I mean, there's a lot that goes on. I mean, when it comes to films here, like locally, like I said, in San Antonio, man. When I started this, it's I mean, I found local directors, I found local filmmakers, and it took a while for me to, I guess, crack that code when it comes to like friending people, because it's like everything. It's just like everything in life. There's a group, and they're already stronghold. They're like, man, we don't need anybody else. We're good. So it's hard to get in there because they're like, no, we don't need anybody, So for me, having a podcast, it kind of helped because I'm like, hey, you know what? I'll do an interview. And like, once it started to get to know me, seeing that I'm helping and engaging and trying to help and be a part of something, that's when the door started opening for myself, because people were like, okay, well, this guy means good, man. Like, he's doing good. He's trying to promote everybody, and little by little, I started getting invited, and I was like, all right, cool, man. And that means a lot to me for a director to say, like, yeah, dude, you know what, even if it's just BTS, I'm like, they're like, dude, just come by and take some photos, bro. Like, I mean, I'll take it. If I have a bit, if I'm open, I have availability, like, I'll go out there and snap some shots, capture some moments, man. I love it.
Yeah. And so I was actually going to ask you a question there, because on the acting side, I don't consider, like, when I've done my YouTube videos or when I do them, I don't consider it acting. It's just, we're talking, we're interviewing, we're doing all that stuff, and I'm explaining what thing I've unboxed or whatever. But as an actor on your side, you say that you've done some acting and all that stuff, or you've done acting. Like, how the heck is that to go, like, when you're going in? And I've never had to audition since high school. I didn't know high school I did, but not.
No, I mean, when it comes to the indie world, man, a lot of them is just hearsay. I mean, of course, background, little by little. I mean, started getting as far as God, I forgot the word, but I started getting actual lines and just started getting dialogue. There you go. And so for me, it was just more. I guess when a director, I mean, especially when they have those groups and they have a project and they're like, okay, you know what, I can use this guy. I can definitely use it. You know what I mean? So they kind of already know who to pick and choose, and it's like make things happen. For audition, I've only done 3. Yeah. 2, one I actually did before COVID, man, and that one was just fun. I mean, nothing came out of it, and then COVID happened, so I mean, nothing really came out of that for like 2 years. But since I've been doing this again, it's just been two auditions. Everything else is a background where it's just they just need you to act a certain way or do something a certain way, or just dialogue's not there yet, dude. I mean, I'm still shooting for it, man. Especially in commercials, bro. That's gonna be commercials. I keep telling people, I know I made it when I'm the new I forgot the freaking insurance company name. I won't say it, they don't sponsor me anyway, but when I'm that new commercial guy, I said that's when I know I've made it. I'm like, yeah, I'm that guy.
And I look forward to you making it so that I can look at it and say, hey, I know this guy.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man. And that's what it's about, bro. Because I mean, like I said earlier, you don't know. I mean, JakNife, I mean, it might be one of those films where it might sleep for like 2-3 years, and then in 4 years somebody sees it and they're like, what the hell? Like, dude, like it can just You know what I mean? It might take a while, or it might just take off. You know, I mean, you never know. It's just, lining up all the planets and just, time, the right place, and the right person seeing it, distribution. I mean, everything helps, but that's what makes it fun, because it's like when you're waiting on your well, shoot, you're not even waiting on that. You're making that happen. It's going to come out. I mean, you're already working on other projects.
Yep.
So it's like, okay, you know what? Like, well, one of them's going to hit, or all
Yeah.
of them.
And if you, I start out from the beginning. So if you don't put out anything, if you don't, like, you have this idea or this dream about becoming a filmmaker and making movies, making films, no matter what level you're making them at, if you don't do it, it'll never take off. And the only chance you have of making it take off is do the best job that you have, go out and do it. Whatever funds you have, whatever funds you can collect, wherever you can get your money to buy your equipment, set up all this stuff and do it yourself. Don't let a lack of crew deter you either, because we started out our first scenes, we were shooting with just a couple of people, and I was able to find some high schoolers that were actually going film school right now. And one of my director, I actually gave him director of photography credits in JakNife, but he had been making films for years, and he was a high school senior. And I looked at his films, I'm like, holy cow, you're gonna make it great. I'm glad I got you for one film. But you never know who the heck you're going to meet when you go out there and you try to set this stuff up. So if you get like 4, 5, 6, 7 people to work with you on your crew, great. Go out there and take that and take advantage of it. Do as good a job as you can. But if you don't, it's just me and my wife. Like today, I shot the crew today that I shot. A nice scene was myself. I did the lighting, did all the audio, set up the 2 cameras. I set up all that stuff. I filmed with 2 actors. And then the guy who let us use his house and some of his props, he helped us with clapboard and some of the audio. But for the most part, it was me. I went out there, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. And I've done that several different times. And you can't tell if you do it right and do it to the best of your ability. You can't tell on which shot of JakNife it was just me or if it was 7 of us. Yeah. And I don't want that to be a hindrance to anyone who might say, well, I got this idea, this story. I'd like to get it out there, but I like to make it myself. Well, just go out there, do the research, educate yourself, and just do it yourself. You don't need. I've got cinematic cameras, and I've got iPhones that I use. I've got other things that I use. You don't have to have the biggest budget cameras either. There are so many good, like, indie film level cameras that put out great 4K images, great cinematic 4K images that you can go out there and get on a scrape by budget and get that idea out there. I look forward to seeing it. I am like enthralled with indie film right now because I've gotten into this community over the last 5 years, and it is such a web. You start going down a spider web. You start going down here, and then you go here, and you're like, oh God, look at this film. Who is this? Watching films from all over the world right now. And
go down that rabbit hole, man.
It's amazing too, and finding you, and then the online avenue there through the horror scene, and some other places have been just amazing to get us out there. Your podcast, my filmmaking, it's just amazing.
And that's what's fun, because I mean, there's so many. I mean, even here in San Antonio, dude, there's so many local filmmakers out there. I mean, from college, film to people that are just started or even been at it for a while. But I mean, there's a lot of talent, man. And the one thing, Robert Cantu, man, this guy, I've worked with him twice already out of Austin, Texas, dude. But he had said one day, and it made sense, because he said. He was talking about something in general, but he was like, you can't be a filmmaker if you're not making films.
Absolutely.
And I was like, and that stuck with me, because I'm like, you know what, bro? It makes sense, because it's just like me. I can't tell people I'm an actor if I'm not in movies, like, I mean, it goes hand in hand. So it's like, with that being said, like, if somebody wants to make a movie, like, go make it, dude. I mean, learn from mistakes and keep growing, Yeah,
there's an audience for everything. Like, you go out there and look at some videos and movies and you go, I don't really like that much. And you look at it and go, it's got all these views. You're like, there are people that like it though. Yeah. So make your idea. No idea, I think, is there's really no bad ideas for film. It's
no, man. I mean, and the sky's the limit. I mean, when it comes to the indie world, dude, that's what I love about it. There's so much creativity that it's like, if you can think it, you can make it happen, man. So, it's like, I mean, there's so many people out there, like, behind the lens, when it comes to the crew, the gaffer, the cinematographer. I mean, or in this case, yourself, right?
Having a whole crew to do, like, if you have your lights, your audio, you have all of your stuff that you would have normally, so that I could just pay attention to being a director, or even have a director of photography on set all the time, or something like that. It would be awesome. It would be spectacular. It'd be great, but I don't want to ever get crazy used to that and having that like all the time, because I don't ever want to lose sight of what I've got to do to make my vision come true if I'm left by myself. So like today and several and lots of other scenes that I've filmed, I've done it all by myself. It takes a little more time.
Yeah.
So like if you're going to be a true filmmaker, you should know at least a little bit about what everyone else does. So you get that gratitude when you have someone like I've got like Mark Page. He's like my guy who does my boom mic and helps with the audio stuff. When I get a guy who can actually do it well, or like a director of photography, like I have with Joey Crofts, who's down in Cincinnati University Film School right now.
Right.
He was amazing. And I learned, and I'm 28 years older than him. And I learned shit from him because he learned from other people. And it's just amazing.
No, yeah, man. I mean, there's so much out there, dude. I mean, like I said earlier, when I'm working behind the scenes, I mean, I've been in 2 commercials, I've been in 2 TV series, and it's just like I mean, from going from indie to a TV show, man, like that. First off, that blew my mind, because there were so many freaking people there, bro. Like I was like, holy crap, dude. Like, you're used to like the strong 4, strong 5 people just running everything, and it's like, I mean, they had like people on top of people, man. It was wild, but it's fun. It's exciting, because you're like, okay, well, you know what? This is what keeps you going. It motivates me, man. I mean, if anything, I was just like, man, I want to. Made me realize that I do want to do this. I mean, my work, and I'll throw them out there. I mean, of course, they allow me to venture and take days off, man. And it's just, I honestly wouldn't have been able to jump on a lot of films if it wasn't for them, because I ask them and they're like, yeah, go for it. Go do your thing. And it's like, I am, man. I'm gonna pursue this dream and see where it takes me, bro.
I think you're off to like an amazing start here, but your start's been rooted in like where you've come from before you said you got hacked or whatever.
Oh,
yeah.
So
you know how to do that. You're engaging. You're keeping me engaged. I know you're keeping everyone who's watching engaged. It's just you have to have something to be as popular as you are and as popular as you're going to be. You got to draw people in, and you have that right now, which is awesome. I was very looking forward to this interview today, and it's just been exciting to get
sure, bro. And let me ask you real quick before,
but just to talk to you.
No, yeah, and I know you had mentioned you were like, yeah, I can't wait to talk horror, and I was like, dude, like I wake up in the morning and it's like freaking YouTube, or I put Tubi, or and it's just like all day, every day. I'm at work and it's like white noise. I play something while I'm working in the office and getting things done, but it's just like, it's soothing, man. I mean, horror movies, I don't know what it is, but it just soothes me and it helps me relax. But we gotta love it.
We do a thing where everyone knows all like the mainstream kind of horrors, and we know that Halloween started out as a more of an independent film, but I would love to have had $1 million budget for my first independent film. But anyways, it started off as an independent film, and a lot of independent horror films have hit really big, but they've had some really big budgets and some small, like Terrifier. The first one was like $35,000. And he did an amazing job with that. And he's grown that into just an amazing franchise. But the indie film, what we do is we'll pick a horror film. Every night, my wife is like, she's a Halloween baby, October baby, and without her help, without her blessing and her help with this, there is no Scare Time Studios. It's definitely not just me. It's her. It's me coming into this actor's name's Josh Hardy. He plays my killer JakNife. And he's got a 20+ year history of actually working like on Hollywood sets, on film productions and all that stuff. And for me to find him here in Central Indiana, I don't want to leave him out. To find him here in Central Indiana as my JakNife, it was like, holy cow. I sat down with him to audition, and it was like he was auditioning me. He was asking him, and I'm like, okay, you look the part, you sound the part, and I think you can be the part. And like he's taken the JakNife role. He's going with it. And he is JakNife. So I appreciate you, Josh. If you're watching, thank you very much. But I was back to like my wife being that stalwart there to get me to where I am here. It just without her family, like you said, without work, without people in your immediate group to allow you to do your dream, you might not be able to do that dream if you didn't have support. You have to have support somehow.
No, yes, bro. I mean, home's got to be strong, dude. I mean, that's one thing. I mean, of course, especially in a relationship or married. I mean, if the other person doesn't like it, there can be issues right there, man. But the fact that you both you guys are involved and doing this just makes it even better, man.
Yeah, it makes it
Sure.
exciting. It's fun because it's something we get to do together. We've turned it into almost like a family hobby that turns heads, because we're going
Yeah.
to the Indianapolis Days of the Dead horror convention
Yes,
on June 13th through the June 15th. We have our table and everything set up there. We want everyone to come out. If you're in the area, come out.
nice.
Say, we'll be giving away some JakNife stickers and stuff. We'll have some cool stuff, and I look forward to meeting all horror fans of all genres.
I've got an idea for you, man. I'm gonna after this. Let's see if you like it, dude. But I've been wanting to do something with conventions, because I cover a lot of them here locally, man. I'm actually a moderator, so I get. You brought up Texas Chainsaw Massacre, man. I was able to I was a moderator for their 50th anniversary here in San Antonio, man. So I got to meet all of them, got to talk to all of them, and it was just like a freaking dream come true, bro. Like, it was just one of those, like, damn, here they are in front of me. I'm talking to them. I'm just shaking their hand, and I mean, it was surreal. And but yeah, bro, I got something for you. I'm gonna see if you like it. I was gonna ask you too, bro. Before I forget, earlier you have brought up, I think in May, I got this from your JakNife the movie page, but this right here.
Oh yeah, that's
You see that?
That is one of the pictures before the show started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let me ask you, the reason I brought that up was for the fact that, like you mentioned, it is hitting the circuit. You guys are doing screenings out there, but when you guys first showed it, I mean, where do you normally sit, man? Are you in the back or in the front?
I actually we actually took caution tape and sectioned off our family section, and we set up in the front right. And I got my mom to come in there, and that was exciting to see her come there and watch what I did. And we got on stage and we delivered. We talked and had Josh, who played JakNife, and Mark, my guy who's helped us out a lot. We all talked to everyone up front. I got on stage, and like almost 400 people. It was crazy. And I sat up front. I was going to sit in the back in the booth, because we had a guy who runs the theater. He actually was running a soundboard, so he was actually doing some like crazy audio stuff during the movie. It was like he would make those stingers just hit, and the fall. It was crazy. But yeah, I sit up front, up and to the right, because I didn't want to take away the best seats from my audience. I wanted them to have the best seats, so we just kind of set off to the side up front, and still awesome.
The reason I was asking was because I've had directors tell me that they're like, man, I sit in the back. One of them actually made me laugh, because he was like, I sit in the back, so if it's that bad, I can run out the door, man. but normally a lot of them, they're like, they sit out back just to see if how they can see the audience reaction, like if they get the jokes, if they get, and so I was just curious, because I was like, man, I wonder if he sat in the back, just kind of, wait and see if people reacted the way you expected them to react.
So being the writer, director, cinematographer, and the editor and all that stuff, so I edited every single second of the movie. I knew which spots. I know, and my wife and I have watched the movie now 30 plus times, because when you're editing it, you got to watch it. You got to make sure there's nothing too wrong with it when you go to distribute it. But when I know exactly which spots I wanted to look and see which jokes landed, because when in horror, if you got to have a little modicum of comedy, because you can't just. I'm not about keeping people down here like you're all, doing this tense the whole time, and you're all thinking the gory stuff and the scary stuff. So I bring you up and down, up and down. It's like almost like a roller coaster ride is what I like to do. So I knew the spots I wanted to look. So when I'd get ready, I'd look back. Yeah. So we got cheers and claps, and we got oohs and ahs, and we had a couple people scream. I was like, yeah.
Awesome. Nice.
Yeah. And we set up a camera. I didn't set up one in the front of the stage to look back at them. Yeah. We set a camera up in the lobby, and I went back and watched the footage, 4.5 hours of footage, and I could hear people with the doors closed screaming that we landed.
So, dude, that's cool. That would have been cool to have it in front, just to see everybody's reaction. I never thought about that, man. But that's
I might do that with this next one coming up here at the end of the month. I might just do that. I was going to do it, but just ran out of time setting that up and getting it the right way. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, dude. Man, that's fun. I love that, dude, because I mean, it intrigues everybody. It's like people, I mean, like your friends and family, I'm sure like they didn't know what to expect. They were like, "Oh man, home movie, right?" I mean, he's out here recording, people at home, but for them
Yep.
to see it on the big screen, it's like, damn, okay, this
I
he did
think
this.
I really think that people will be surprised when they see what we were able to film with
Yeah,
a lower end budget. We did low end, to me, low end budget doesn't mean low end quality,
right.
because what you lack in like funds or money to buy all this other equipment, you've got to make up for in other ways. So I make up with that with, maybe if they're cheaper lights or whatever, and they're, I double up on them or learn how to best use them. Like I'm doing like now, you see lights and everything. I spent
Yeah,
time before we did here to set up lights in my little studio here with just little cheap lights, just to make it
yeah.
look a little bit interesting. Um,
Man, that's cool. I like that.
just ingenuity. That's it. Just, if what you lack in what you can get or what you have, use what you've got and
Yeah.
just make the best out of it. And that's what we do.
No,
We have
I
fun
was
with it.
I was recently in this shoot, man, and the guy, and I can't remember his name to save my life, but he had worked on TV shows, so I mean, experience, right? So while he's filming at this location, he's doing all these little tricks like drapes and using different and just to get that color. And I was just like, damn, like he did magic, bro. Like I remember, I apologize, I can't remember his name right now, but I was just watching them and I was like, damn, dude, that's some good stuff, dude. Like, it's just, he made it work. I mean, regular Christian light. Okay, well, you know what? I have this blanket. Let me bring this
Yep.
over here. And it's just like, by the time he was done, he was like, dude, perfect. Like, this is what I wanted. And it's like, made it happen.
And my wife wasn't understanding. Like she just thought, I swear to you, and she'll tell you this if you get to meet her. She thought that every film was filmed. You get the camera, and every scene was filmed in succession, and you just have the camera on, and everybody does everything, and it's done. She didn't
Wow.
realize all this stuff. Like I told her, I said, I have to have backlighting. I have to have motivating light. I have to have. Okay, this is too much light. I've messed with my camera enough to where I can't mess with my ISO too much more. I can't mess. I've
Yeah.
only got so much aperture. And so I've got to like throw a blanket up here. I've
Yeah.
got to block this light out, but I can't block it all the way out. Like right now, I'm bouncing a light up off the ceiling so it doesn't come straight on me, and
Yeah.
it's kind of filling out the room. Like I got to have the fill light, and so she's like, "You have to have all that." I'm like, "If I want to make it more cinematic, I have to have that." And with what we have, you just take your time, you work with it, you throw up a blanket sheet. We have sheets and rods and stuff that we can clamp stuff on. It's just like I
Oh,
said,
yeah, dude.
you can
Yeah.
make it look good. You
And
can.
that's cool, man. I love that because I mean, like it goes back to like we were mentioned earlier. I mean, when it comes to the word low budget or no budget or micro
Mhm.
budget, it's just it's that's basically like you said. I mean, a lot of these big films, I mean, they got millions to throw around.
Oh
20
yeah,
million in
weekend
advertisement,
in their
20 million
pocket.
here, and
Yeah,
it's like, but I mean, the fact that you guys do this with minimal, it's just even more. It's even more exciting, because it's like, damn, let's see what they can make. It kind of reminds me of like MacGyver, man. He's like, hey, I got a
yeah.
paper clip, a thumbtack. Okay, let's do it. Like there's our movie.
So
Make it
people like
happen.
right now, I just let everybody know right now. So the way the angle that I have my my computer coming down at me, you wouldn't know that I got it set up on an empty cardboard box sitting on top of an old chair just to make it a little bit come down. I mean, that's it. That's what I've used. I don't got a stand or anything. I'm just using that. But so low budget, micro budget, and all that tells me is how much money you had to work with when you made your film. That doesn't tell me anything about the quality of your film. It doesn't
Right.
tell me anything about the story, the drive, the excitement, everything that you have to make your
Yeah.
movie, to get your story out to me. What does tell me that is when I go in there and I start watching it and I find out if your dialogue is like your story writing ability is good, your storytelling ability is good, you at least light up the scene and you have cameras on and I'm able to see what you wrote. If it's good, that's awesome. It don't care how much money you spend on it. If it's a good story and you show it well, I love it, and I'll watch yours because I'm a filmmaker who loves to watch movies. I will keep watching your stuff over and over again, and I look forward to what everyone puts out. I'm very genuine. When I started following you, I wanted to go. I saw your stuff. I liked it. I wanted to go back and look at more of your stuff. I wanted to share your stuff with my following and my followers, and because I don't like to share stuff I don't like, so I don't follow it and I don't support it. So if I follow you and I support you, I'm extremely genuine with that, and that's why I go and I love that the horror scene, which gave me you, and I go and I look for stuff, and there's so much great independent horror stuff out there, independent movies in general, but specifically, I'm just a horror nut. So the horror genre, what's going on in independent film right now in the horror genre, it's just exciting. I look forward to watching independent horror more than than the stuff coming out of Hollywood. I would have never said that 3 years ago, but now it's like, God, there's so many great ideas, and I want filmmakers just to be like me and go out and do it, show it to me, and give me a way to watch it. Like I bought a lot of independent horror films. Like I'll go on Amazon. You put it on Amazon, we'll buy it, we'll watch it, and then I go on IMDb and I will give you a good review because it takes a lot to make a movie. If I think you're extremely perfect, of course, I'll give you a 10, but I'm never going to give less than a 6 or 7 or an 8 because you know what you've done. If you've made a film, you're on one of those places where I can review you. You have taken the time, the effort, you've put something out there. You've done something that 97, 98% of people who say they want to make movies haven't done. You make a movie, you've made a movie. So, it's just that I just love the independent. I can't say much more about the independent horror than I already have. The community.
You see, and that's one of the things, like yesterday too, I had mentioned that because I was like, man, it's not even like, if for the longest time I was using the hashtag not my horror. And that for me, it was just like, you know what? I mean, I support every film out there. There's some that I'm just like, it didn't do anything for me, but I still support it, man. When I went out there, I watched it. It might not be for me, but might be for the other 1,000 people. You know what I mean? So it's just, but I mean, there's stuff out there I like. I mean, I'm a big comedy horror nerd, dude. Like when it comes to that's my forte. But I mean, when it comes to gore and everything else, I love them all, man. I love watching them.
Yeah, I think every genre I love. I think I like every genre of horror. The only one that I don't get into, but I still kind of will ease into every once in a while, is the paranormal stuff. And I've got Paranormal Activity for like people who do paranormal stuff around here in Indiana and all over the place. And they keep telling me about, you should come film and do all this stuff in this place and that place and try to capture the scary stuff. And I'm like, I'm just going to make some scary stuff in front of my camera. Maybe one of these days I'll come out and see you. But the paranormal stuff is the only one I don't get into. Yeah. But it doesn't mean that you can't do it right, because I'm a Poltergeist fan, so I mean I can't say that I'm totally out of it. I mean, Tobe Hooper, Poltergeist directed that. Like I said, I'm a huge Tobe Hooper fan, so Poltergeist, that's my shtick right there when it comes to the paranormal stuff.
Oh yeah, dude, they were like behind their time, bro. Like they nailed it. I mean, looking back at the time and what they had to make, like. There was a clip the other day, and it came out on Instagram or Facebook, but it was showing like all these clips of how they were making films back in the 50s or 60s, and using like everyday items just to make them look like 3D effects, like a natural train where there's nothing back there. And I'm just like, damn, dude, like the creativity, man. I mean, that's where it started. It's just using what you have and making it happen, man.
On The Outer Limits, the old horror. I used to watch this back days with my grandma. Was The Outer Limits and Twilight Zone. Yeah. When you look at some of the pics, the stills from behind set, what they did to make those things work back then, when they didn't have all the technology that we have now, it's just amazing. Like I said, you're only limited by your creativity or your imagination on set. You really are. We've been on set and we're like, oh crap, we forgot this or we forgot that. What do we do? We're not going to go home. We're not going to leave and cut. Yeah. We're going to find something to use to make up for what the hell we forgot at home or what we don't have. And we'll just pick up stuff off the set and go, let's just use this. Let's do this. Let's do a different angle. Let's so yeah.
And then it's I mean, the only thing that can stop you pretty much is, I mean, it's your creativity, man. Like if you can't think of something, or you can't think of, but I mean, when it comes to having people around you that can make it happen, or are good with props or effects or whatever the case, it's just it adds to it. But man, let me ask this, bro, because of course, for those watching, that are going to be watching, JakNife, I mean, you guys are on Instagram and Facebook, correct?
So yeah, we have the Instagram, which I think you tagged, which is awesome. JakNife_movie or something like that. The movie or
the movie.
And then also we're on that. We're also on TikTok. I've got the Scare Time Studios YouTube. Right. We're going to start doing our own horror podcast here really soon.
Yes.
Which is going to be fun. Facebook, we're really big. I'm an older dude, middle-aged, whatever you want to call me. So I still holding on to that Facebook stuff. I still do a lot there. We got the website, scaretimestudios.com. We try to update it. We put some cool stuff on there. And so we're out there as much as we can be out there. We're out there. You can find us if you look up Scare Time Studios or or JakNife. We're really the only JakNife JakNife that's out there.
I know, and I was gonna bring that up too, man, because when I kept typing it in, autocorrect kept sending me to JakNife,
Yep.
and I was
Yep.
like, damn. So I had to like keep going back and keep going back, and it took me like 5, 6 times before I finally like, dude, like this is it, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, of course, I'm gonna show the logo. I mean, this is of
Thank
course
you.
the YouTube channel, of course, Scarce Time Studios. When it comes to what you guys have done, of course, you know this is one of your screenings.
Yep.
JakNife. I mean, we keep bringing this up, but this is the film, and of course, right now it is hitting the circuit. So, well, what are you guys thinking as far as release time? Or let me ask you this: are you guys gonna have it on physical media?
Yeah, I'm working on physical media for sure. It would be Blu-ray.
Nice.
When I do my editing, I edit it. I edit hardcore. I
Yeah.
hardcore edit, so it comes out very nice. So that kind of precludes me from making a DVD because when you make a DVD, it's only technically speaking you can only put so much gigabytes of storage onto a
Right.
DVD. So it's got to be Blu-ray. So yes, I am working on getting a Blu-ray out. And so when we do a release, we're going to be releasing like the normal channels that we can get onto, be Amazon and hopefully be on Tubi and a lot of those with the distribution route that we're going, which is self-distribution,
Right.
and working our butts off with a reputable distributors that have a history of helping us out as independent filmmakers who don't like want to trust the guy down the street. We want to trust someone who they're going to take their 10%, but they're not going to take their 10% till I get my 90%,
Right.
or whatever. So we are going to be out there, so the masses will be able to see it, and I look forward to. I'm hoping that we can do that this summer. We get through the film fest. I'm not trying to get into too many film fests, to be honest, because I want to get out there and get this out there and everybody see it so they can get excited about our next projects. So we'll see about the film festivals that we got going on now. And then after that, it's all about getting on streaming platforms. And then when we go to events and stuff, have the physical media. And then my wife's website, lookatthesetees.com, buy a Blu-ray there when it pops on. And everyone will definitely know, but I'm hoping that's all this summer sometime.
No, for sure, man. And the podcast, before we go, what's the name going to be on the podcast, bro?
I just really think it's going to be Scare Time Studios Presents or something like that, or Presents Horror, something like that. It's going to be pretty much just a horror themed thing. It's not going to be something catchy like yours. Coming soon. I'm like, gosh, I mean, already taken.
Yeah, dude, you can. I know the key word. Like when I first started, like nobody. There was a company called Coming Soon, I think out of Europe, and they were doing like big time films, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, man. But when it came to the podcast, I was the only one, and there's stuff that's popping up now. Like people are using that keyword a lot now more, But I don't know Coming Soon, but it's like every time I see it, I'm like copyright.
Yeah, come on,
give my money. My man, well, bro, I do appreciate you jumping on here, man. It means the world to me for you guys to, make some time and actually jump on here and talk a bit. Anything you want to say to everybody out there, bro?
The biggest thing I want to say, if I can't brag about independent horror films, is just if you are tired of searching through stuff that's coming out of the mainstream filmmakers, go give indie horror filmmakers a chance. Because most of us, if not all of us, do it out of just pure love, excitement, and passion for filmmaking. And we most of us can't get the best and greatest actors that are out there, the biggest names. But I don't want them. I want people that are excited about making films and are able to be worked with, and we just do a great job. That's all I want to say is just go out there, give an indie filmmaker a chance. Watch indie films, spread the word, especially horror. Let's grow this community that is independent horror filmmaking, and let's just grow that community. And go ahead and follow us, please. Please follow JakNife, Scare Time Studios, all of us. We got the new movie that we're filming called Dead Stop. There's a Facebook page for that. We're working on growing that too, and we've already started filming for Dead Stop, our new feature film, and our other projects. So please give us a follow, like, subscribe, everything, please.
Nice, brother. Well said, man. And of course, yeah, man, support. That's all I tell people. Listen up and follow up, man, because that's all you got to do, bro. It's just follow people, subscribe, share. I mean, it doesn't take a lot. You can hit a like, drop a heart. It's just that simple. But man,
thank you, Mario, for this.
Yeah.
This is a great like avenue for us to be able to get on here. I'm in Central Indiana, just outside of Indianapolis,
Yeah.
and I'm talking to you down in Texas. There,
Oh
what
yeah.
area are you from?
San Antonio. San
San
Antonio.
Antonio,
Yeah.
Texas, and we're doing this all here, and we're all being connected here, and I absolutely love it.
No, no,
It's
I mean,
exciting.
likewise, man. I love this stuff, bro. So yeah, the fact that I can jump on projects and help out however I can, like I'll take it, and I appreciate it, man. So thank you guys for being out there making these films because this is stuff that we want to see. Don't hang up yet, brother. Everybody out there, of course. Once again, Spider here, Coming Soon Podcast. Make sure and follow up. Till next time, follow up.